When you get to a crime scene, there are 3 types of fingerprints, or fingerprint types that you could find at a crime scene. Visible prints, plastic prints, and then what we call latent fingerprints. And these are just depending on the surface that the print is on, depending on what's on the suspect's fingers, etc., etc. They're different prints that are kind of left behind. So the first print we're going to talk about are visible prints. Visible prints are the best kind to find because you can see them, you can take a photograph of them, and it's just nice and easy. They're made after coming in contact with any type of colored material. Oftentimes it's blood, like so if the suspect has blood on their hands and then they touch something, or paint or grease or ink or anything like that, and then they literally touch something and their fingerprint is left behind and it's visible, and then all you have to do is take a photograph of that, and you're ready to go. You're ready to start analyzing the prints. The second type of print that's left behind at crime scenes are what we call plastic prints. Plastic prints are ridge impressions that are left on some type of soft material after a suspect touches that material. Putty, think like silly putty. When you put your finger, smush your finger into silly putty, you can see your fingerprint in the putty. Wax, soap, dust, anything where the print will be kind of left, the impression of the print will be left behind. This is also nice because you can just take a picture of it, and then you're good to go because you'll still be able to see it to the naked eye. A lot of times they find these types of prints like in break-and-enter cases, window seals where there's the putty in them, and different things like that. So visible prints and plastic prints, all they have to do is take a photograph of them and they're ready to go. They're not the most common prints left behind, but if you find them, they're the easiest prints to collect. The third type of fingerprint that you can find at a crime scene is what we call latent fingerprints. These are invisible prints. So latent prints are prints that we know are most likely there, but we can't see to the naked eye. They're impressions caused by the transfer of body perspiration, so sweat and oils that are present on your fingers, and when you touch a surface, the sweat and oils get left behind in the shape of your fingerprint. So like if you're sitting at the kitchen table and you just put your whole palm down on the table, your fingerprints will be left behind, but you might not be able to see it right then. Latent fingerprints must be developed or made visible in order to see them. And so that's where investigators, if they thought a crime had occurred in a certain location, they would dust, say your kitchen table, for example. They would dust the kitchen table for fingerprints using powder or super glue fume. There's all sorts of methods for developing latent prints to make them visible. These prints are the ones that most often investigators are looking for at crime scenes. So like door handles, if it's a breaking and entering case, they can dust the windows around the location, so on and so forth, to try to pick up any prints that might have been left behind that the suspect didn't realize that they left behind. So 3 types of prints: visible prints, plastic prints, and latent prints. And in the next week during class, we will take a look significantly at latent prints and all the different methods that are out there for developing latent prints.